Hi, this is Ridea Keeping It Real, and we are reading through the Bible using the Good News Bible. We're on the second book of Esdras, and we are on chapter 6. We're on the third vision. And all I can tell you at this point is that I've read all of this, and I don't think I've ever felt the way I feel right now, where I don't know what the rest of these visions are going to be about. I do not. But I know that I don't feel like I'm going to be the same after I read them. There's something that's saying, once you read this, you cannot unknow it. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I just know that's what it is. And this third vision is pretty long. It goes through chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 9, the middle of chapter 9. So I'm not sure how long this is going to take me to read this, but I'm pushing through to read it. I'm pushing through to read it. And just, I don't know. I don't know what to even think right now. So let's do it. The third vision. Second Ezra's. The third vision. Why God's people suffer. After that, I mourned and fasted for 7 more days, as I had done before. And so I completed the 3 weeks of fasting that I had been commanded to observe. On the 8th night, I was again deeply troubled, and I began to speak to God Most High. I was very tense, and my heart was uneasy. The way I feel right now, uneasy. It's an uneasy feeling. But I said, "Oh Lord, at the beginning of creation, you spoke the word. On the first day, you commanded, let the universe be made, and your word carried out that command. At that time, the Spirit was moving, darkness and silence was everywhere, and no human voice was yet heard. Then you commanded that a ray of light shine out of the room where it was stored, so that your works could be seen. On the second day, you created the angel of the sky and commanded him to separate the waters, so that part of it would be moved up above the dome of the sky and part below." So there's no ifs, ands, and buts. It's saying there is water above us. So all these people trying to leave, the break through the firmament, they're not. It's water above it. They're not doing it. On the third day, you commanded that the water that covered the earth to come together in one place and cover 1/6 of the earth's surface, or 1/7 of the earth's surface. Then you dried out the rest of the earth's surface to make dry land, so that it might be cultivated and planted and used in your service. Your word went out and completed the work immediately. In an instant, all kinds of fruits and vegetables appeared, enough kinds to satisfy every taste. There were flowers of indescribable fragrances and of the most magnificent colors. These things were made on the third day. On the fourth day, the bright shining sun, the light of the moon, and the arrangement of the stars were created by your command. You commanded them to serve the human race, which would soon be created. bright sunny sun, the light of the moon. So the bright sunny sun, the light of the moon, the arrangement of the stars were created, and you commanded them to serve the human race. On the fifth day, you commanded the part of the earth covered by water to produce birds, fish, and it was done. And your command and the still and lifeless water brought forth living creatures, so that the nations might proclaim your wonderful works. Then you singled out two of the living creatures. You named one of them Behemoth, and the other Leviathan, which is back in Genesis. I remember reading about these. Ugh. You separated them from each other because the sea wasn't big enough to hold them both. You let Behemoth live on the part of the land that you dried up on the third day of creation. It is the land of 1,000 mountains, wherever that is. You kept Leviathan, you let Leviathan live in the sea. You kept them both alive so that your chosen people may feast on them at the time you choose. So, okay. On the sixth day, you commanded the earth to produce the animals, domestic and wild, large and small. More important than all of these, you created Adam and put him in charge of everything you made. And all of us, the people you have chosen, are descended from him. Okay. Oh Lord, I have told you all this because you said that you created the first world for the sake of your people. You said that in spite of their great numbers, all the other nations which descended from Adam are nothing. Are nothing. Worth no more than a drop of water, worth no more than a drop of water, no more than spit. But now, Lord, those nations that are considered as nothing are ruling over us and destroying us. I think this is just hitting too close to home for me. That's what it is. This is how I feel. We are your people, and you have called us your firstborn, your only son, your witness, your loved ones. But we have been handed over to the power of the other nations. If this world was really created for the sake of your people, why don't we have possession of it? How much longer must we wait? Now we're at chapter 7. When I finished speaking, the same angel that had been sent to me in the earlier nights appeared again. He said, and just imagine you are having a vision, the angel is before you, saying, "Stand up, Ezra, and listen to what I have come to tell you." Okay, go ahead, sir, I said. He continued, "Now, picture yourself in your mind a broad, immense sea spread over a vast area, but with an entrance no wider than a river. No one who wishes to enter the sea, whether to visit or to control it, can reach its broad expanse waters without passing through the narrow entrance. Or take another example. Picture a city built on a plain. Okay? The city is full of all kinds of good things, but the entrance to it is narrow and steep, with fire on one side and deep water on the other. The one path between the fire and the water is so narrow that only one person at a time can walk it. If anyone inherits this city, he cannot take possession of its inheritance without passing through the dangerous entrance." "That's right, sir," I said. "This is how it is with the people of Israel," he added. "I made this world for their sake, but when Adam broke my commands, the world came under my judgment. Then the entrances into this world were made narrow and difficult to travel. They were rough, dangerous, and few in number. But the entrances to the great world to come are wide and safe and lead to immortality." Okay, I'm just highlighting things right now. "Everyone who lives must walk the narrow and meaningless ways of this world in order to receive the blessings stored up in the world to come." "So, Ezra, why are you so upset and disturbed by the thought that you are mortal and must die? Why don't you think about the age to come rather than the present age? Because we're living in this age? I mean, I answer, Lord and Master of your law, you said that the righteous would receive all these blessings, but that the wicked would perish. The righteous then can endure all the difficulties of this narrow way because they look forward to the broad and open life in the future. But the wicked must pass through the narrow way without any hope of seeing the broad open life. Okay, I mean, that's one way to look at it, but they're still like in this lap of luxury, making your life miserable. The angel replied, do you think you are a better judge than God? No, but it still doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Do you think you are wiser than God, Most High? No. Is it better to let many people of the present age perish than to allow them to neglect the law that God has given them? I don't even understand that. Is it better to let many people of the present age perish than to allow them to neglect the law that God has given them? I don't know. God has given clear commandments to everyone coming into this world, telling them what they should do to obtain life and to avoid punishment. Okay. But the wicked would not listen and refuse to obey him. In their foolishness, they have made their own wicked and deceitful plans. They denied the existence of God Most High and refused to follow his ways. They have rejected his law, refused to accept his promises, despised his decrees, and failed to do what he commanded. This is the reason, Ezra, that there's emptiness for the empty and fullness for the there's the reason, Ezra, that there is emptiness for the empty and fullness for the full. Riddles. Masonic kingdom and the final judgment. I mean, I'm not okay with all of that. Like, okay, the Masonic kingdom and the final judgment. The time is coming when these signs will take place. The invisible city will appear, and the land that is now hidden will be seen. Okay. Under the water, above the water. Everyone who survives the calamities I have predicted will also see the wonderful things I will do. My son, the Messiah, will be revealed. Together with those who come with him, he will bring 400 years of happiness to all these survivors. At the end of that time, my son, the Messiah, and all human beings will die. What? At the end of that time, my son, the Messiah, and all human beings will die. Then the world will return to its original silence, and for 7 days it will be like it was at the beginning. No one will be left alive. After 7 days, this corrupt age will pass out of existence, and the new age will be awakened. So the new age will be awakened. The ground will give up the dead who sleep there in silence, and the souls of the dead will be released from the places where they have been kept. Okay? God Most High will appear on his judgment seat. Mercy and patience will vanish completely. Wow. And will be replaced by judgment. Truth and faithfulness will once again stand firm. The good and the bad that people have done will be fully revealed, and reward and punishment will follow immediately. The pit of torment, the fires of hell will appear. Opposite them the paradise of joy and rest. Then God Most High will say to the nations that have been raised from the dead, look, I am the one whom you have denied and refused to serve. It is my commands that you have rejected. Look around you. There is joy and peace in one direction, fire and torment in the other. That's what he will say to them on Judgment Day. On Judgment Day, there will be no sun, no moon, or stars, no cloud, thunder, or lightning, no wind, water, or air, no darkness, evening or morning, no summer, spring, or winter, no heat, frost, or cold, no hail, rain, or dew, no noon, night, or dawn, no daylight, brightness, or light. The only light will be the dazzling brightness of God Most High, making it possible for everyone to see. The judgment will last 7 years. The judgment will last 7 years. That's the arrangement I have made for Judgment Day, but I have revealed these things only to you. Okay. Only a few will be saved. Of course, right? Of course, only a few will be saved. Look at this like it's playing out. Like this is playing out in somebody created a play, and this is I don't know what act. Almost the last act. We've already been through intermission. Then I say, Lord, I repeat what I said earlier. How fortunate are the people who can live now and obey your commands? But what about those for whom I have been praying? There's no one in the present generation who has not sinned. No one who has not broken your commandment. Facts. Now I understand that the world to come will bring joy to only a few, but torment to many. The evil impulse within us has grown, and it has led us away from God's ways, brought us to ruin, put us on the way to death and destruction, and taken us far from life. It has destroyed not only a few, but almost everyone who's ever been created. Good point. I agree. Listen to me, the angel said. Tell me, teach me what? And I will teach you further and correct your thinking. Please do that, because I'm right here with Ezra. Because only a few will be saved. God created 2 worlds instead of only one. As you say, only a few people are righteous, but there are large numbers of wicked people. But listen, if you had only a few precious stones, would you add lumps of lead and clay to them in order to have more? Surely no one would do that, I answered. No one would do that. They would just want the precious stone. And so he says, take another illustration. He continued, the earth herself will give you an answer if you humbly ask her whether she produces more gold, silver, copper, iron, lead, or clay. There is more silver than gold. There is more copper than silver, more iron than copper, more lead than iron, more clay than lead. So judge for yourself which are more desirable and valuable, common things or rare things. I answered, Lord and Master, the common things are cheap. It is the rare things that are valuable. All right, he replied. So draw the logical conclusion. The person who has what is scarce has more reason to be pleased than the person who has what is plentiful. It is the same with the judgment that I have promised. I will be pleased with the few who will be saved, because they are the ones who now praise and honor me. They are the ones that now who praise and honor me and make my name known. Okay? I will not be sad about the large number of people who will be lost, because even now they last no longer than a vapor. They disappear like fire and smoke. They catch fire, blaze up, and quickly go out. Then I said to the earth, look at what you've done. When you gave birth to the rest of creation, you gave birth to reason. It would have been better if you had never been created. Then we humans would never have had the power of reasoning. But as it is now, our reason grows up with us and then torments us because we realize that we are going to die. Compared to us who must bear the sorrow, the dumb animals must be happy. They're much better off than we are. They do not have to look forward to the judgment. They are not aware of any torment or salvation. There is promise to them after death. What good is it to us that we are going to be given life in the future if it is to be life of terrible torment? I agree. I agree. I think this is the problem with why I'm reading this book, and I don't want to read it because I agree. And I don't want to agree, but I agree. Like, what is the point of all this? Everyone who is born is caught in a web of sin, is full of wickedness, and burdened with guilt. I think it would be better if after death we did not have to face judgment. The angel replied, "What do you got to say, angel? What? What?" When God Most High was creating the world, as well as Adam and his descendants, the first thing he did was to get everything ready for judgment. He began with the end in mind. All right. So you ought to learn from your own words. You said that your reason rose up with you, and that's the point. The people of this world use their reason and sin. They received God's commands, but did not keep them. They accepted the law and then disobeyed it. And that's why they will suffer torment. What excuse can you offer at the judgment? How can they answer at the last day? God Most High has been very patient with the people of this world for a long time. I agree with that. But it has not been for their sake. He has done it for the sake of the age to come. So he wants to give more people more time to get it right. The soul after death. Yeah. Heavy, heavy, heavy. This is heavy. The soul after death. Then I said, "Sir, may I ask you please to explain to me what happens when we die? When each of us must give back our soul." Yeah, see, I can't unread what I'm getting ready to read. "Will we be kept at rest until the time when you begin to make your new creation? Or will our torment begin immediately?" "I will answer that question also," he replied, "but do not include yourself amongst those who will be tormented because they have no use for religion. After all," I don't know if that word says religion, I'm sure it doesn't. "After all, you have a treasure of good works stored up with God Most High, which will not be shown to you until the last days." This is, oh God, so sorry. This is something to me. But to answer your question about death, when God Most High has pronounced the final decree that a person shall die, the soul leaves the body to return to the one who gave it. I believe that. Immediately it praises the glory of God Most High. Imagine that. Let me explain first about people who had no use for the ways of God Most High and hated those who worshipped him. There's no place where their souls can go for rest. They must wander around forever in torment, grief, and sorrow. Their torment will progress in 7 stages. I've read this before in another book. First, they ignore the law of God Most High. That's the first stage, I guess. Second, they can no longer make sincere repentance and obtain life. Third, they see the reward stored up for those who put their faith in the covenants of God Most High. So wait a minute. First, they ignore the law. Second, they can no longer make a sincere repentance. Third, they see the reward stored up for those who put their faith in the covenants of the Most High. And fourth, they think about the torment that has been stored up for them in the last days. Fifth, they see angels guarding the homes of other souls in complete silence. Sixth, They recognize that they must soon be tormented. 7th, the worst of all, when they see the glory of God Most High, they are sick with remorse and shame. They cringe in fear because while they were living, they sinned against him, and now they're about to come before him to be judged on the last day. Petrifying. Petrifying. This will straighten you out. That's what this is. This will straighten you out. Now. Let me explain about those who follow the ways of God Most High and what will happen when the time comes for them to leave their mortal bodies. While they lived on earth, through constant difficulty and danger, they served God Most High carefully. This is what carefully kept the law given by the lawgiver. So all of that, the New Testament nails the Old Testament law to the cross. That's not what that says. That's not what that says. This is what they will receive. They will receive when they see the great glory of God. They will rejoice when they see the great glory of God. He will receive them, and they will enter their rest in 7 stages of joy. So this is 7 stages of joy. What are these? Torment. 7 stages of torment. Okay, here are 7 stages of joy. The first joy. And you know what? Remember, this is bringing me back to this. It must be very critical. The month of Adar, which is where we're at right now, is the gate of joy and reversal, to restore our joy. Let's figure out what joy is, because we will be in 7 stages of joy if we make it here. The first joy is what? Is to have struggled hard and won the victory over the evil impulse which was formed in them, but which did not succeed in leading them from life unto death. That's the first joy, that you basically survived all the hell you went through on earth. The second joy is to see the endless wandering of the souls of the wicked and the punishment that is waiting for them. I don't know if I find joy in that. Okay. The third joy is to know what a good report their master has given about them, that during their lifetime they kept the law that was entrusted in them. It doesn't say anything about anything else but keeping the law. The fourth is to appreciate the rest that they are to enjoy in the places where they have been brought together, guarded by angels in complete silence, and with the glory that is waiting for them at the last day. The fifth is to rejoice that they have now escaped the corrupt world, that they will receive the future life as their possession. They can see both the narrow, troubled world, which they just left, from which they have been freed, and the spacious world that they will receive and enjoy forever. Okay. The sixth is to be shown how their faces will shine like the sun, and how they are to be like the light of the stars that never die. Seventh, joy. And the best of all is that they rush to meet God face to face with perfect trust and happiness, without any fear or shame. They served him during their lifetime. And now they will receive from him their reward and glory. These rewards that I have been telling you about are those that have been prepared for the souls of the righteous. I described to you earlier the torment that the rebellious will suffer. Okay. I think we're getting it. We're getting it. Then I asked, when the souls of the righteous are separated from their bodies, will they be given time to see what you have told me about? They will be free for 7 days. Ooh, interesting. He answered, and during this time they will be able to see the things I have told you about. After that, they will be brought together with the other souls in their homes. In their homes. That's it. Okay, just picture this. They will told you about. After that, they will be brought together with the other souls in their homes. Okay. Then it goes on to the finality of judgment and the salvation of the few. Okay. Then I said, we're still in this vision. We're still in the vision. We got a long ways to go. The finality of judgment and the salvation of the few. The finality of judgment. Okay. Then I said, sir, please tell me. And we're at the 30-minute mark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video here, because if not, it's going to be an hour-long video. I am going to stop it here, and I'm going to come right back and finish reading this and make this a second video for the third vision. So far, this has been a lot of information. Just on, why people suffer, and then those 7 different torments or joys. I don't know. I know why I feel the way I feel, though. Because it's like, I mean, you have to say, if this is true, this is critical. This is no joke. I mean, if this is true, if what I'm reading is like, this is the absolute truth, this is what's going to happen, then there's nothing to do. There's nothing to worry about except getting this right. Serving the Most High while here and getting this right. That's it. That's it. Because this is a little 70, 80, 90 years maybe. But you're talking about a lifetime. A lifetime. Not a lifetime, but eternity. I'm sorry, eternity. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with this. I'm just am. I mean, it's not kind of anything totally new. It's just hitting me different. It's hitting me different. It's hitting me different. Like I said, I can't unknow this. If this is true, you read this. You read this. That's what's going to be shown to me. A reel of me reading this. Like, hey, remember you read this? What did you do after you read this? What did you do? What were you thinking? What were your thoughts? How did you act? How did you treat people? Did you try to figure out what you were supposed to do? That's what I feel right now. So, with that, I'm going to stop here and we'll come back and finish this third vision. So, until next time, let's try to keep it real.